When we look at the beauty of our world, we frequently ask ourselves the question, where did this whole thing come from? Did life started really as a single cell? Is the cosmos as a result of a Big Bang? Or perhaps there is another explanation for that. So today's video is going to be dedicated especially and only to the source. The part of manifestations I will address in the follow-up videos. So let's begin. You already saw the definition what the source is. The source cannot be defined. It has no basic elements. It's not energy or non-energy. It simply cannot be defined. The source is a place where everything is. The source is everywhere, but at the same time is as small as a tip of a needle. In the source, everything is a part of everything else. It's not separated. It's if we could give you some form of visual, it would be just a gooey substance without any shapes, just gooey stuff. In order to things to manifest, to show up in the physical reality, it goes through stages. It unfolds from the higher form to all the way to the form that we can experience right now, right here in this world. Step by step, I will be explaining this whole process. However, for now, I will only focus on explanation what the source actually is. To explain the source, I will use visual mediums, series of pictures, series of slides, and I just want to caution you, this is not how it is. However, this is the best way that I figure out to explain that phenomenon. There is no other image in our surrounding that could explain that, or a process that I could use as a reference to what I am about to say. Imagine that there is the most perfect shape in the world or in the universe is a sphere or a ball. Imagine that ball, that sphere, it is the source. That's where everything is. That's where you and me resides. Now, to prevent any electromagnetic static or some unwanted energies to enter and hinder and some kind of diminish the source, it is surrounded by a thin layer of some kind of halo. The way that was explained to me, I was very surprised, and I said, like, if we are in the source and the source is everywhere, how come there is the halo? How do we know that there is some form of layer that is protecting that from the outburst of unwanted statics and energies? Simply explain it to me. They simply explained to me that even though it's not visible, but that's how they can explain that to me, that there is a layer which is protecting from that to happen. And then past that layer is the field of manifestations, where the field in which stuff is taking shape is something similar to plasma. Plasma starts to manifest itself a little bit later in the process. However, we can assume as the first stage, the field of manifestation when everything takes place, is some form of substance similar to plasma. And there are two different types of that. As you can see in this image, the field of manifestations is divided into two sections. This is only a visual medium. This is not how it happened. However, there are two fields. One is supporting the positive, and the other one is supporting the negative. Now, to us, we are under the spell of time and space, and to us, we are under the impression that time is moving forward. However, on the universal scale, there is no such thing as time. It's things just are. Everything just exists in the present, not in the past, not in the future. That is governed by a very simple principle, which says if something isn't, cannot be. Therefore, you do understand that if someone says something is in the past, that means it's not here, it's not now. That means if it isn't, cannot be. So the same thing applies to the future. You may say something, it is going to happen sometimes in the future, but it's not here, not right now. That means if it's not here, does not exist, because if something isn't, cannot be. Simple as that. Now, in this, you probably have a question: what is the structure or the basic element that is responsible for the field of manifestation, plasma, and then more and more dense fields, and up to our physical world with all the elements? That part is the first element. Whatever you see here, it is the first element. I know you know that by a different name. This is yin and yang. See, this symbol is something that we know for hundreds of thousands of years. This is the best and the greatest symbol that can explain basically the function, the mechanics, the principles on the universal scale. But not many people know how to translate that. So let's dissect this whole thing. You can see the white field is something that is pushing towards the future, but as you can see, it has already a black dot inside. That dot is going to expand and take over the white field until the white field is going to turn into the white dot. As you can see, on the opposite side, there is this black field with white dot in it. So how this functions, this is very confusing. When they were showing to me this whole concept, I was puzzled. I was completely confused about this whole thing. So how this whole thing work? See, the black dot in the white field is gonna start expanding. And as it expands, it is going to take over the white field. But at the same time, on the other side, the white dot is going to start taking over the black field. And eventually, the white dot is going to take over the black field, and the black dot is going to take over the white field. And of course, they are going to have the dots in the center. What's interesting about this is that the dots, the substance, whatever that is much higher. The volume of that substance is much higher in those dots than in the field. Puzzling, isn't it? The black field is responsible for the negative or the opposite to the white, and is sort of moving towards the past. In other words, whatever comes to the manifestations whatever comes to the manifestation is unfolding, and whatever needs to go, once it's not used, when it's not needed anymore, it needs to fold back, and that the black part is doing that. It's actually very simple when you stop and think about what I just said. It is going to take for you a little bit of a time. Now, both those processes are happening at the same time. They are not antagonistic to each other. in fact they depend on each other. Like when one of those dots is expanding, so is the other, but they are expanding at the same rate. However, there is a very tricky situation with what they explained that to me, that the first element is the one that is the basic block of everything we see, including plasma. Now, when this thing pulsates, because this is a pulse, when it does that, when the white section, the white field lasts a bit longer, that when we have the unfolding process happening. When the black part lasts a little bit longer in that pulse, then everything is being folded back to origin place, to the field of manifestation, and then is being dissolved and goes back to the source and is no more needed. This may take a while for you to figure this one out, but overall this is very simple process. Remember one thing with this whole thing, that we, and I am repeating myself, but there is a reason why I do that. Through repetition is gonna engrave the information is gonna engrave itself on your brain, and you're gonna remember that. Look at this from this point. When you look at this thing, what I just said, the time does not either move forward or backwards. It's only here right now, at present. Everything is at present. I said that before, that we are under the impression that time is moving forward, but we keep ignoring the past, and we saying, oh no, the past already happened. That is incorrect. At present, right now, we are not only activating the future, which is, but we also are activating the past, which also is. Now, how do we influence the past? I think you know something called the observer effect. But you still don't see the connection. You still don't know how to put this thing together, I'm sure, because I had really big problem with that. It's very simple. When you are, whatever you think it is, it is. And then when you are searching the past or our history for specific information on a specific subject, because you think it might be there, for sure is going to be there. This is a little bit more complicated. I am going to leave this for now. I am going to dedicate a specific video to this time phenomenon, because that needs to be addressed for people that they think that we are somehow going into the complete extinction and the dinos are already dead. They will never come to life. The truth is a little bit different, but that is a topic for another video. This following image that you see here is a complete model of the source, how it is surrounded with the field of manifestation and what are the basic elements and how they are placed. Again, I am repeating this. This is only visual medium, but that's how they explain that to me, and that's how I am explaining that to you. This is a very simplified, but the bottom line is this universe is very simple. The mechanics, the principles are very simple, straightforward, not complicated. It's the humans that complicated this whole thing, and many of that information you can actually find in all those old scrolls, Bible, the book of Genesis. You can find that in the Sanskrit everywhere, but this is mixed up. The writers, the scribes, they simply took parts and moved them around because they they were under the impression that they are gonna fit better in different places. So right now we have a lot of confusion, what is what, and some parts of those writings, they don't even belong where they're supposed to be. They are segments from another writings, from different writings put together to different writings, and now we have this whole mess, the misunderstanding, misinterpretation of lots of stuff. That is going to be also addressed, because I'm gonna take a section of those texts and I will show you what they actually mean and where they belong to. All right, so for now I'm going to that's enough explanation for this part. However, I'm going to show you something very interesting. All the elements, they follow specific path. By elements I mean human body is considered to be an element. Neutrino is considered as an element. So anything that is, for example, human body is, even though it's considered as an element, but it's also a collective of many elements, many body parts and organs and so on. Each organ is a collective of tissues and fluids and what's not, but it's considered as an element in this case. So take a look at this image, and please do understand that elements, they do try to experience themselves in different conditions, in different environment. So let's say, let's give you a kind of funny example. Let's say angels, they are so bored that they have decided, you know what, let's go see how hell looks like. The good girls want to they are attracted to the bad guys, to the Hell's Angels or whatever, tough, rough boys. So in order to get to that dark spot, they need to go through the process of shading. So first they need to enter the field of shading, where they slowly start turning from light gray to darker until they reach the point where they are dark. Now there they realize, you know what, oh crap, we don't want to be here. We want to be attracted to the Virgin, to the white, to the angels. That's what we want to do. The guys are saying, you know what, let's go out with those girls. So again, the process starts. First they need to enter the field where they are start losing to the darkness, the frequency starts increasing, and they are going into the process of shading. So, and then they reach the white field and the process starts, and they are going in circle. So now you understand that if someone change, it is not going to happen overnight. It is a process. If you are having problems, you will not resolve them overnight. This is a process that you need to do yourself. In other words, you need to take steps. You need to move into the field, which is either slowly decrease your energy to reach the dark place, and or, which many people do right now, they start thinking dark thoughts. They are not interested in life, and farther they are just sinking to the dark side. But now when you reach the dark side, you are fed up. You say, you know what, screw it, I don't want to be here. I want to go and see the world. I want to be happy. I want to be needed. I want to be in a relationship. So it's a process. So on your path, then there are going to be elements that you need to activate, and those elements are going to bring a little bit more frequency to your life. You are going to start changing into gray. Then finally you're going to reach the square with the white light. So this is very simplified, but that's how it is. So in the field of manifestation, that's how those elements are moving around. In the center, you can see this is the gray dot, the gray circle, that's the source, and of course there is the blue circle, the smaller, the thinner, that represents the halo protective. So neither the gray or black or white can jump into it. The process is going outside of that source. But this is only a visual medium, because the fact is that everything is happening in that center, in the source. Everything. We are at all time. However, the manifestation that you see is governed by something else, and that I will explain sometimes in the future with another video dedicated to sound. Okay, so for now, thank you for watching this video. Please share this video with people that you think that they may benefit from that. Please leave me a comment below this video if there is something that needs to be more clarified. I would be more than happy to do that, but I need your input into that. So please comment as much as you can, ask any questions. So I will collect all the questions, and I am going to make videos specially dedicated to those questions. I will answer them. All right, so please, if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. Please click the notification bell. And of course, please do like this. All right, so thank you. Bye for now.